Hello, my name is Raul and you are watching 2hp.com. Today I'll enjoy a real fight between two direct competitors, Nissan X-Trail and Honda CR-V. However, it would be too simple to compare only two cars. So here we have two more cars for better estimating the evolution of these two models. In my opinion, X-Trail looks emotional, aggressive and modern. CR-V is less demonstrative and still stayed, I guess, for not scaring away its fans. Obviously, the previous generation of the Nissan X-Trail represents that great designer time when everybody could just take an ordinary fridge, draw doors and get a car ready for sales. But if you compare the previous X-Trail with the new one, the distance between their design art would be calculated in parsecs, especially by vision of a modern car. Analyzing the design of a new Nissan, it's worth to mention that all the risks were estimated and a parlay was placed on the exterior, quite elegant and almost a city crossover. It seems to me that Nissan is the last Japanese trademark which has given up on the unsophisticated lines and rural simplicity. Surely, the previous X-Trail still has its fans, but they are like in a minority. Clearly that Honda CR-V is an evolution product. Actually, if we ask a man who is not good in car designs at all to identify the old one and the new one CR-V, the new one might be lost. Concerning the CR-V design, here the engineers took into account all the customers' wants and have continued the evolutionary process of the car model development. And it's logical when your audience is close to the number of 1 million. The only problem is competitors' activity, who are actively filling the market with the attractive crossovers. On the Ukrainian market, both new cars are presented as high-line vehicles. The cost difference is miserable. X-Trail costs $300 more than CR-V. Here with the crossover is equipped with a surround view cameras, LED lighting, electric breaker, blind areas monitoring, gear selector and even seats, developed together with NASA. The company states that due to a new shape and special spline line support of so-called zero-gravity seats, the loading on muscles and spine is decreased, blood circulation is improved, so as final result, driver doesn't get tired. There is no need to hide our willing to compare the seats of Honda and Nissan in action. We even have sent a proposal to the owners of the best test equipment, but unfortunately all of them were busy with fashion shows and photo shoots. Comparing the interior of the previous and new Nissan X-Trail, the change is obvious. From the peasant horse into the space technologies. Nevertheless, we'll still miss the cup holders on the car dashboard and a trunk with a strong plastic covering. By the way, about trunks, even here Nissan has created almost flat level floor and several loading lines, but the total trunk volume has decreased from 603 liters to 550 liters. Nevertheless, we have more flail space for passengers. The interior of the new CR-V is also roomy and comfortable, but looks more frugal, and if we talk about trim level, the new CR-V can be compared with Nissan X-Trail, starting from the trip computer graphics to car interior cloth. At the same time, CR-V has a flat level floor for backseat passengers. The trunk is 39 liters bigger, and instead of 2 cup holders on the center panel, we have 3. Frankly speaking, arguments are not that strong, so in this case I prefer the new Nissan X-Trail. But if we compare the new CR-V with the previous model, the progress is quite evident. The rear-view camera and the new safety system have appeared. The ergonomics has also improved. For the S-turn testing, our participants were divided into the following way. The first test run, the new CR-V against the old one. Thankfully, the stability control in the new CR-V can be switched off, and according to the results of our previous test, Honda is our hot favorite on the S-turns. In fact, our American subscribers often ask us why we are switching off the stability system control. The reason is drivability. This is the main stability control of your car, and only by switching off the stability control function we are able to check the car driving qualities. But don't do it in the city. This Honda CR-V is a real star, magnificent, plain and rolling less. In a half of a test, it's getting obvious that the granny doesn't have any chances, and on the finish line the time lag is becoming more dramatic. 1.5 of a car body is a huge loss, and rolling fact is not the only reason, by the way. The previous CR-V is passing slalom quite good. The only problem is connected with the power steering. At a certain moment, the steering wheel has become very heavy, which means if a driver is a lady of 45 kilograms, she'll be definitely rolled back. So it's quite dangerous. The previous Nissan X-Trail is so cranky that while rolling, you've got a wish to use your knee like bikers do. Basically, it's time to get out of the car and check if we haven't scratched the headlights. In the second test run, we've got to know that stability control can be fully switched off in a new Nissan X-Trail. That means that the car is automatically using the brakes and is stabilizing each time of an oversteer appearance possibility. Definitely, the new X-Trail is rolling less than the previous one, but unfortunately the traction control wasn't fully switched off, so I'm not sure that we've shown the best time. However, we've decided to finish our experiment. As a result, due to awful rolling of the previous Nissan, the new one is faster for a half of a body car, even with an electronic collar. The third test run is dedicated to our all-timers. It was a fight of rolling, body squeaks and transmission howlings. We were surprised, but car have reached the finish line nose tip to nose tip, so no winner detected. The result of the fourth test run is already evident, but we're doing it exactly for you, not accusing us of a warped judgment. So, the new and very quick CR-V against the perfect but strangled with the electronics X-Trail, and ta-da! Honda is 1.5 of a car bodies faster. After the slalom test, the biggest high fear of us was connected with the previous X-Trail. That's why we've decided to test it later, and we've started with an all and distinct CR-V. It's worth to mention that Honda is always good in car drivability. Even family crossover has a good driving qualities, and without any problem except the fact of steering power becoming heavy, passed the elk test at a speed of 60 km per hour. By the way, not all of compact cars are able to reach such a result. The previous X-Trail, which has the most powerful and impenetrable suspender among the 4 competitors or even on its class, is rolling a lot, and the car trunk is willing to outrun the hood. Nevertheless, the car reached the finish line without any ambitious efforts. Another story was shown by the new Honda CR-V. The car was so easily passing the obstacles at a speed of 60 km per hour that we have decided to speed it up to 70 km per hour. Taking into account the closeness of bump stops and concrete base, this decision wasn't wise at all. However, we've believed in CR-V potential and it hadn't let us down. At a speed of 70 km per hour, CR-V has passed the test successfully. The new Nissan X-Trail shows us that even losers are able to avoid any kind of accidents. This time we've decided to check the sound insulation. With this purpose, we're using 2 devices. The first is an ordinary noise meter mobile phone application. The second one is the famous Ukrainian drummer Alexander Lebedyanko. Of course, we don't defer to the measurement accuracy, but anyway, with equal setup of noise audio meters, the noise difference will be mentioned. Without any music background, the noise level in stationary CR-V is variable from 38 to 42 decibels. In X-Trail from 42 to 44. Both noise figures fit with the sound of a calm office or a park. Which changes do we have with the drum noise? In CR-V, the noise variation is 73-80 decibels. In X-Trail, 78-83. Both noise figures fit with the sound of heavy traffic or busy street. In any case, 83 is more than 80. Also, serial mode tests are prepared today for all 4 competitors: diagonal hanging, body twisting and all-wheel drive check. Why do we do it? During the last 15 years, each time on the press conferences, I hear that body stiffnesses of every new car is up by 20 or even 50%. Thereafter, for now, all the cars might be hotter than a tank. So, let's check. We have started the diagonal hanging with the old-timers, and both cars met the challenge. Concerning the body stiffness, it seems like our old fellows are able to take even bigger load. In fact, the car owner was nervous about the boot lid wouldn't be shut and told us a secret that the boot lid is not always shutting even on a slick road. I believe everything will be okay. So, doors. With such a clearance, doors would be closed even they would be done of noodles. This car is 3 years old, so it's without the allergic package, and we need to do everything manually. Open a boot lid, jump, close a boot lid. Everything is perfect. Doors are opening excellent, but if you remember in our test of Qashqai, we've got some problems with the boot lid shut. What's about X-Trail? This grade includes the power boot lid module that's very useful for us. But is it useful the same way for X-Trail, especially now when the trunk door is going to be closed? Has closed. An embarrassment has happened with a new CR-V. The car is equipped with a special running board for passengers' comfort. But on the other side, the clearance is lowered and CR-V is not able to overcome the obstacles. By the way, in our previous test, CR-V without the special running board has passed the test successfully. By popular request of our subscribers, we've decided to organize a real drag racing. The first participants were the new and the previous CR-V. Let me remind you that both cars are equipped with 2.4 gasoline engines. The engine power of a new model is 190 horsepower. The previous one has 166, while drive torque is the same, 220 Newton meters. As we had expected, there were no chances for the old-timer. Moreover, due to the drift box, measurements of the new model has speed up to 60 miles an hour in 10.9 seconds and a granny in 11.3. Actually, the power engine's difference of 24 horsepower and age had an influence on the car's speed. By the way, the new CR-V was 0.2 seconds behind due to the registration certificate data, while the previous CR-V model was just in time, 11.3, like it was stated in the registration certificate. This second drag racing trial was dedicated to Nissan cars. Both cars are equipped with 2.5 gasoline engines. The engine power of a new X-Trail is 171 horsepower and 233 Newton meters of torque. The engine power of the previous X-Trail is 2 HP less, but the drive torque is the same. We were thrilled as due to the certificate data of a previous model, the acceleration time is 10.3 seconds and time of a new one 0.2 seconds more. Nevertheless, the youth has won. Actually, the time of a new X-Trail is 9.9 seconds and of a previous one 10.5. As a result, before the final drag racing competition between the CR-V and X-Trail, we already had our own telemetry measurements, which have shown us that the only possibility for CR-V to become a winner was the help of S2000 model. So, the victory of X-Trail was predictable and logical. I hope our test drive was interesting for you and useful at the same time, and now you'll be able to choose the only one and unique car, which will satisfy all of your needs and wants. By the way, do not forget to subscribe to our channel.